Hello everyone, my name is OmegaTheReal, or Omega if you want to keep it short and simple, and I believe I just had one of the most eventful weekends of my entire life. TFCON LA 2024. Now, for those of you who didn't watch my last video, which is basically everyone, what happened here? And if you don't follow me on my social medias, which I suggest, I kind of goof around on there, I went to TFCON, and I got a story to tell about it. So, I don't really understand how to open this kind of thing. I've never done a video like this. I've never been to any convention. So, this was my first experience going to a convention of sorts like this. So, I think we should just start at the beginning. Let's start with Friday. Friday, the TFCon website said that we had to go register our tickets early so that we didn't have to wait in that long line. So, that's what we went to go do. So Friday was me and my dad driving to TFCon, and it sucked. As a LA resident myself, I didn't expect there to be too much traffic, but then again, it's LA. We're known for traffic, so it was a long, very long drive, so it wasn't too fun. But we got there after about an hour of driving. I'm not that close to TFCon where we have to use the hotel there, but we might do that next year. We were talking about it, so we might show up again for 2025. I just gotta see if I have the cash for it next year. But, we made it, and we coincidentally actually parked right next to Bumblebee. Kind of funny. I got a video of it. It was a funny start to that night, basically, so oh well, let's continue more on, shall we? So, after we got out of the car, I had to wait in the lobby for a bit because it was an hour drive and we actually had to use the restroom, so I waited a little bit in the lobby, and then we got our wristbands, and it was a little bit of a difficult time getting the wristbands because the conference room almost looks like where you would get the wristbands at, because there was people at that door, so you would go up to them and be like, hey, where's it at? Oh, it's on the complete other side of the hotel. That's cool, thanks for saying that earlier. That would have been awesome to know. So we ended up walking to the other side of the hotel and had to get in line 3 separate times because we were kind of dumb. We got the wristbands, and then my dad found out that we had to we could have gotten a lanyard and the pin, so we got those too. Kind of unnecessary in my opinion, but he wanted to get them, so we got back in line again, and then another time to get the lanyards because we forgot to buy them that one time. So we ended up getting in line a bunch of times, and actually we got 3 bags. There was only 2 of us, so why we got a third one was unknown to me. I guess he was being nice or something else. So we got 3 bags. So afterwards, we found out that the movie wasn't going to show for another hour and a half at this point, because it started at 8, I believe. So it was 7, I believe, when we got our tickets. So we just decided, hey, let's go get something to eat. So we did. We got some burgers at the little restaurant they have right there, and they were pretty good. Not crazy, but the sweet potato fries and the ranch were goddamn out of this world. I don't have any pictures of that specifically, but here's a picture of the burger if you're interested at all. And I got a picture of the pin as well because I think it looked really nice. So we had time to kill, and we said, hey, the movie's not until like 10, I think. Let's do the auction. So this auction was kind of cool. It was a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different either people that donated or creators or producers, and it was really cool. The auction began, and it was basically like any auction you'd ever seen. There was people betting, people oohing, people going crazy over stuff. Some of the things in there were pretty cool. Allspark Almanac, I'm gonna save that for last. The animated Black Optimus, the one that was limited to 300 pieces, that was there too. That was pretty cool to see. And I think a funny joke from the guy who was running it, I don't remember his name. If I do, it'll be on screen now. But Paul Eiding, Perceptor, G1 Perceptor, had brought out a bunch of shirts for this auction, and all of them were like in 2X, but then one of them, the guy pulled up and said, wow, here's something no one's ever seen before from a Transformer fan, a medium, and the whole, like, conference hall erupted in laughter. It was really funny to hear that. But after that, one of the major standouts from that auction was the Transformer animated scripts. Those things were the official ones. They were ones used in the studio, and I'll just let the video play right here.
Eisenberg, he's the head writer of Transformers Animated. He's done a whole bunch of other stuff, Beast Machines and Transformers Prime. So which one is that?
This is Along Came Spider, one of the best episodes of Transformers Animated.
Written by him,
This is the script. Marty signed it. He wrote this. Starting good. Let's start simple. $1. $500 going once. $500 going twice. $500 sold.
Whoa!
Where is your name and where are you from?
My name is Ian Carlisle. This is on YouTube, but I'm hosting the Transformers Animated Deleted Scenes panel tomorrow at 5 p.m.
That's crazy.
All right. We have a situation on our hands. So we have two other scripts signed by Marty. And the starting bid is $500 on it.
No.
You just want him to have it, don't you? All right, $500.
Oh.
I did mention that I get 30%. Fantastic.
All the profits.
Wild. He dropped 1,500, I believe, on all three. Ian Carlisle was crazy of him to do. Shout out to him. We'll talk about him more later, but that was just nuts. He plugged the animated panel for tomorrow or next time, whatever, and I thought it was really cool. But that wasn't even the pinnacle, because there was an anonymous donor that we still don't know who it was because it was anonymous. It was the 1986 Transformers the movie storyboards. That was crazy to see. And apparently they were only going to give them out if someone was going to bet the minimum that they set. They didn't say what the minimum was, but if someone said that number, they'd give it to them. And no one said it. And what they said is that the minimum number was $3,000 for the storyboards. I don't think it ever got sold to anyone, but it's crazy that those were there. And they sold a bunch of other stuff too. There's a lot of videos that I might put in here and there, but it was really fun to see. We were thinking about staying for the movie, but I think at that point it was already 10 p.m. and we had to drive back an hour, so we just decided it was too late for that. Alfonso Nation posted some pictures and videos of that, so if you want to go see what that looked like, you can go check that out. So we went home. I went straight to bed because couldn't contain my excitement any longer, and we began Saturday. Waking up at 6:30, shit, the shower, and brushing my teeth, and I think it's a bit with you guys because I don't understand this. Wear deodorant. I don't know why no one listens to the advice everyone on the internet says. Wear deodorant, because I'm going to point this out later because there's a funny thing my dad said, so we're going to wait until later. And we sort of ended up going to McDonald's beforehand, making us late, but I think showing up late is better because you don't have to wait in the line. Even though if you have the weekend pass, I heard people still had to wait in the line. So if you want, show up a little bit later. Everything's still going to be in that showroom. It's fine. Don't worry. I still got a pretty good haul out of it. So whatever. We're just going to continue on. And traffic again. Another hour. It was not fun at all. It was hair pulling, falling out. It wasn't fun at all. Just the tension was killing me, but we finally ended up getting there, and parking was almost $20. What the hell? That was a lot of money. But we parked in the handicap spot because we had that. Don't tell anyone. And jaw drop. I have never seen a room that I belonged in more than the TFCON dealer room. That place was like heaven to me. Vendors from Generation 1 to comic books, actually, to any toy you could think of was in that room. Even non-transforming stuff like 3-0 was there as well. It was incredible to see all that. It was insane. Walking around looking at all this stuff was just... It was a great experience for me. I never experienced anything like that. Maybe we could compare it to Frankenstein's, but that wasn't all Transformers. This was basically all Transformers. And it was the greatest moment of my life, seeing all those different vendors. It was incredible. But it gets even better, because our first purchase of that night was none other than a Generation 1 Optimus Prime that we'll take a look at later. I didn't even think we'd even go that far, because I brought a set amount of money for myself. I don't know what my dad brought to the convention. I know he had brought something, but we had found this Encore reissue of G1 Optimus Prime for $220, and we looked at it, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he bought it. He bought a Generation 1 Optimus. Just like that. And that kind of gave me a little signal to be like, okay, this trip's gonna get weird and wild. And it did, because it gets crazier later on. But, oh, man, that was an experience getting that Optimus. It is such a monumental Transformer, I think, in my opinion. I just think that everyone, if you're a Transformer collector, if you want to get into the fandom, one thing you'll probably want to get in your life is some form of G1 Optimus Prime. It can even be the Missing Link toy. Get a version of it, because it is like the Transformer. Oh, Jesus. In my opinion. But, you know, we continued on after that. I was extremely pumped to be having that, because that was just something crazy to have. And we continued on, and eventually, I don't know what we did to end up outside, but we ended up by the conference hall. I don't remember what it was for. We didn't go to any panels that day, because I don't know why. But we ended up coming back, and we ran into Alfonso Nation. And if you guys don't know who that is, that's a pretty big guy. Roughly 70,000 subscribers or so. So we ran into him. And we also ran into Studio Series Bumblebee movie Shockwave? I don't have any pictures of this. I don't know why I didn't get any pictures. But someone at the convention had the Voyager class Bumblebee Shockwave, which was pretty nuts to see. I did hear that he got it from Ken. If Morgan's listening to this, you know who that is. He got it from him. I didn't know he was getting those. But that was crazy to see. And I feel really weird saying this, but I asked him, hey, can I get a picture with you? And I got a picture with him. It was really weird. I felt really awkward. We had a really awkward fist bump handshake thing. It was really cringe, but that was really cool to see him there, so that was fine, I guess. We went back into the dealer room, and then I saw that toy guy. That toy guy. Just, you know, that toy guy. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't ask for a picture for him, but that guy is tall. Like actually tall. Me and Alfonso were basically... He was a little... what was I saying? Yeah, no, like... That dude is tall. Because me and Alfonso were around the same height. I was a little taller than him, but that toy guy was freaking towering over me. I didn't say anything to him, like I said. I just saw it. I was like, okay, that's cool. And I went on about my day. And then we were done with the dealer room with that day. We basically got all we wanted, because I was still contemplating on whether or not I wanted this Bumblebee movie Megatron that we'll talk about later. So we ended up just going home for a bit, relaxing, ended up going to College Junior, and then came back for the Dark of the Moon screening. And oh my loving God, that was one of the screenings I've ever been to of all time. Everyone in that screening knew the words. Everyone in there was basically just geeking out over everything. But one thing I gotta say, they put on those bits way too damn long. Everyone knows the whole Deep Wang thing. And, God, they went on with that bit for the whole movie. After he showed up, it was just relentless Deep Wang, and it was honestly really cringy and annoying. Like, cringy and annoying, I'm used to that, but like, that's too much of it. Like, Jesus Christ, you got any other jokes? But besides that, the showing was goddamn beautiful. We knew the lines. I tried posting my clips of it, but it got taken down by YouTube. Maybe if I want to, I'll go back and I'll edit to where it's not as copyright able to get striked. I don't know what I'm saying. I'll probably edit it again and post it when you guys want to, if I ever do that. But that showing was incredible. It was probably the most fun I had up to that point, watching that movie with everyone else, knowing the lines, and it was just fantastic. And so, day 1 ended, and then we go to day 2, where we messed up and woke up super late. To be honest, I wanted to wake up a little earlier, but we were pretty tired after almost showing. To be honest, I really did want to wake up on time that day, but I don't know what got into us, and we ended up just sleeping in a little bit. It was 8:30 by the time we woke up, so I was kind of freaking the hell out. And we ended up leaving at almost 9:40 and didn't get there until 10:30, so we kind of screwed up being late on both days, but honestly, I don't think it makes a difference when it comes to the dealer room or the convention panels, to be honest with you. But we ended up getting there, and I was still in awe at this giant room. And at this point in the convention, I finally convinced myself to pick up that Megatron, which we'll look at in a bit, but I will give a little spoiler warning. He is very, very goddamn nice. But there's a story for him in a bit. So we continue looking around at stuff, and me and my dad are just talking about, oh, we should get a table next year. I'm considering it. But then again, what do I have to sell that isn't my collection? Maybe I'll get into customs. If you guys see any customs by July, then expect a table over there. But we're still looking around, and my dad picks up 2 things that he made a list of. He made a list of 3 things that he wanted from this convention. A G1 Optimus, a G1 Devastator, and a G1 Superion. And he almost finished that list, because this one store we went to had a G1 Devastator, and it was 140. It was kind of banged up. It was used a bit, but still pretty good condition, and we bought it. So that's another one for the spoilers ahead, so my bad, yo. But we didn't get a Superion, unfortunately. That one was just too much. We'll probably get it next year when our budgets are more, fixed, I guess. But we almost bought a G1 Encore Omega Supreme. That we almost got. We were considering it until we realized we didn't have Zell. So then we had to drop it, unfortunately. It feels bad. But, I mean, there's always a next year, like I said. There's always a next year, and we'll do that instead. So we're still looking around, still thinking, wow, how am I even here right now? And then we leave around 12:30, I believe, to go to Michael's to go pick up a paint pen. I don't have any pictures of this as well. It was really stupid when it came to the actual interesting stuff. But we got a paint pen just in case for an autograph session that's coming up. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know where this is going. But we come back and we get there just in time for the YouTuber panel. This was one of the things I was also super excited about, because Jobby was going to be there. And it was like, what? I never thought I'd ever meet the guy in person. And seeing that he was going to be on a panel was fucking crazy, like insane. So we end up getting there. We end up getting some pretty good seats near the front. It wasn't the front exactly, but it was near enough that I was content with. And then the panel started, and Jabi got a standing ovation from everyone. The panel went great. They were so cool. They had some roundtable questions that they answered. Really interesting to hear all their stories, and it was just pretty damn cool. Until a cameo appearance showed up from none other than David K himself, Mr. Beast Wars Megatron. And it was, everyone started going nuts. I got a video of this, I'm gonna play it now.
Put it in my...
If Javi worked here, half the auction would be gone.
Hi, I have a question for...
And it was just nuts to see that, see that happen in person. This is like the stuff you only see in like videos, but it's actually happening in front of you. I couldn't believe it. I was just freaking out. My dad saw me, the look on my face. He called me stupid looking, but it was just so crazy to see that. And then was the second part of the panel, where they ended it and they went outside. And TFCON tried to keep this under control as much as possible and said, hey, if you want a picture, you want to talk to them, we're going to take it outside. And the whole horde of that panel room, that convention room, just flooded out trying to follow them. And it was a lot of people, a lot of smelly people too, Jesus Christ. It was wild to see that. And I got a couple videos here and there of that, and it was a wild line. But eventually, I waited about 20 minutes in that line. It wasn't too bad because I already had someone else waiting in another line for me, which we'll get to in a second. That's the ending of this video. But I'm waiting in line. I finally almost get to the front, and Jabi leaves to piss. No worries. I mean, a man's gotta pee. That was kind of a blue ball, I guess. I did, however, get pictures with the rest of the cast that was there. And what I mean by that is the other 4 guest appearances at the panel, being Kian Carlisle, that toy guy, Paper Plane, and Ultra Primal. I all got a picture with them, and I got them to sign my concept art Megatron, which, fun fact, I show up in a Twitter post from Kian. So if you guys ever wonder what my body and my legs looked like, there you go, I'm right there. Kind of weird to see myself show up there, but that's kind of funny. But I end up waiting on the side. I did give one guy my paint pen so he could get it signed, or he could get some stuff. I think it was a Funyun bag is what he signed. Really weird choice, but they signed it. And then I got to meet him. I don't have any video of this, so I'm just going to explain it to you. I got to meet Jabi. It was such an experience. I said, hey man, you're awesome. You're inspirational. Can I get a picture with you? I was shitting my pants at this point. I was freaking the hell out. But I got the picture with him. Here it is, censored for my privacy, of course, but I have one of my non-Transformer friends who knows of Jabi, knows what he does. He freaked the hell out when I sent him the picture, and he called me a lucky bastard. So it was such a crazy experience to have, and something I think I'll never forget. I have the pictures uncensored for me. They might get framed. But it was such a crazy, crazy event. And I got the box signed by all 6. Evangelist was there too. I forgot to mention him. I'm so sorry. He was there too. I got him to sign it too. But I got everyone there to sign it, and it is sitting right now on top of my Nightverse, Bayverse, whatever you want to call it, shelf. And it is probably just never going to be touched by me again. So, now is the ending of the convention. And at the end of this convention, we had to meet Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime himself. Now, me and my dad, we decided to split up. I would stay in the YouTuber line, and he would stay in the Peter Cullen line to make sure we didn't get all the way at the end. We got at the end eventually, no matter what, but we decided one of us would go there, the other one would go there, and we'd meet up eventually. And that's what we did. So after I came back from that line, we waited for a good hour and a half in that line. It didn't feel like an hour and a half. It felt much quicker than that. But it was definitely a long line for sure. There was this, I want to say something. There was a kid in this line. Me and my dad were saying something, and he was like 7 or 8, and he butted in and knew what we were talking about. And I think that was really cool to see, because he knew what he was talking about. He knew what we were talking about. And I think that was just really, really funny to see how he knew his stuff. But as we're standing in line, we're almost to the front, and goddamn David K shows up again. I think he was trying to find his way out of the exit or something like that, I think. But he's going around, he realizes this is not the exit, so he starts just saying, hey, what's up to all the people. And he gets to us as he's leaving out, and he sees my dad's shirt. And that day, my dad was wearing an LA Kings shirt. So they started ending up having a conversation about the Kings. And I'm just standing there watching this, and they just talk about it, and he leaves. And I'm just like, what happened there? He's laughing too, because he sees the look on my face like, what are you laughing about? I was like, dude, do you know who that was? And he's like, no, who was that? I was like, that was an Optimus Prime and a Megatron before. You were talking to that dude. And he was like, what? He's like, I made a friend with Optimus Prime? I was like, I guess you did. It was so wild to see that. Just casually conversation. So now I want to say, how many of your dads have bonded over the LA Kings with David K? Answer that for me. But after that was so funny. We finally begin the final approach, and as we're about to enter the room, we're about to meet Peter Cullen. No recording. I gotta point something out real quick. The TFCON staff were kind of douchey this trip. I don't know why. They were kind of douchey, I will be honest. We weren't doing anything bad. From my point of view, we weren't doing anything bad, but he saw the camera and immediately made us the whole point of the room. It was really, really goddamn awkward. He was like, all right, no camera. He could have said that a lot more politely, I will be honest, but that was kind of dick move, and I didn't like that. But we put the camera away. We were like, okay, we understand. We'll put it away. That's fine. And then we finally meet Mr. Peter Cullen. And I'm gonna probably get emotional for this part, because we meet him, we say hi, he sees our item, which is the Encore Optimus. We originally had the Rise of the Beast Steelbook that we were gonna get signed, but because we got the Optimus, we decided to get that signed instead. I hand it to him, he signs it, he gives it back, and this was, I don't know what happened with me. I just shook my hand out for a handshake, and I told him, thank you for everything you do. He looked at me, he grabbed my hand. He's got the strongest grip of a handshake I've ever felt before. And he looked at me and he said, thank you. Thank you. And in that moment, I think my life peaked. I was left speechless for the next 20 minutes after we walked out. And I think that left something very, very strong with me. It was a really, really heartfelt moment with him. And I'm really glad I got to meet him. Thank you to my dad. You're the best, Dad. But after we got that, after he signed it, we went outside, we got it authenticated, And we ended up walking out. And that was the end of TFCON. But that video does not stop here, because we still gotta talk about what I got from the convention, because what I got is pretty damn cool. This is gonna be in a kind of random order to, I don't know, make this more simpler. So let's just start off. Our first piece that we got from this convention was a Rise of the Beast Japan poster. I mainly got this because I thought it was pretty nice looking. It was only $5. It might be a ripoff to some of you, but I thought it was really nice, so I ended up picking it up, and it's just a poster. It's really nice, and I liked it, so that's the reason I got it. But we're not here to talk about posters all day, because the next thing we got was lanyards. Remember I was telling you about getting the line 3 times? This is why. We got the lanyards for that. And they're cool. They're a purple color. They're really nice looking, but that's not something to just freak out over. So moving on from that, we also got the Optimus Goodbot pin for TFCON LA 2024, and it is a it's very good quality made. I like the feel of it. It's very nice looking, and the design is not bad either. So I think we should start getting to more serious stuff. Transformers Skybound, number 1 through 4. I wasn't planning on picking up the Skybound series, I will be honest. I've just been following it through Twitter. But now that I have the first 4 issues, I still haven't read them as of recording this. I really need to get around to that tonight after I finish this whole video. But it is something I really want to do. And so I saw them. They were $5 each. I said, that's a damn good deal. I'll take them. And so I did. I ended up picking up Transformers number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then on Tuesday, I believe it was, I bought 5 and 6 through Apple Books. So I've got the whole collection now up to this point. So I guess call me a Skybound fan or Energon Universe fan, whatever you want to call it. But they're pretty cool looking comics. They feel really nice too, and I'm kind of excited to read these. So let's continue on. Let's start actually talking about toys. And first one up is this isn't even really mine. It's the Transformers War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Sideswipe, not the Studio Series one, the OG one from a decade ago. It's a okay toy, I guess. The reason why I have this was because my friend, actually, one of my non-Transformer friends, not the jobby one, another one gave me some money for a Godzilla X Kong popcorn bucket, and he gave me some change. So I told him I'd buy him a Transformer with that, and this was it. It was pretty relatively cheap, like $10. So he's happy with it. I already gave it to him as of today, which is the day I'm recording this. So he was pretty cool with it. It was nothing insane, but you know, it was pretty nice. Those older toys really have some really good quality build to them. I gotta be honest, I kind of missed that. But moving on after that is another kind of underwhelming one. Legacy Shadow Strip. I will be honest, I only got this one for completionist. I have the Dead End G2 toy, and that one was pretty cool. If you saw my unboxing, you saw my unboxing. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing out on the G2 Menasor when we eventually get to finish it. And this is kind of a boring one, I will be honest. It's okay, I guess. Nothing absolutely insane, but come on. There's got to be something better than this, right? No? Alright, fine, whatever. Moving on, let me see, who do we have next? Oh, yes, here we go. The Legacy Evolution Auto Trooper. Now, this one was one I saw a lot. This box set was something I saw a lot during the convention. A lot of people had it individually split up. I saw about 6 of the Seekers and about 4 of the G2 Troopers. So people were trying to spread this thing out as much as they could, and I don't blame them. The set is really kind of mid, besides the Auto Trooper, so shout out to them, I guess. But the Auto Trooper itself is really, really nice. I gotta admit, I'm a really big fan of this design, especially the Kiss Players one. Ooh, Kiss Players, shut up. I like it. It's cool, and honestly, I just got it just to complete it. I did not want to buy the rest of that box set, and I'm glad I don't have to now. So, moving on, I guess we can move on to this little Battle Master. Some of you should be freaking out if you know what this is. This is the Transformers Rise of the Beast Awakening Burning Plasma Blaster. And if you don't know what this was a Japan-only item. So I think this guy came included with the Weaponizer Optimus. If you paid around like $100 of an order, you would get this guy as a bonus. A lot of people freaked out on Twitter because they thought it was really cool looking and they weren't able to get it. So I was able to find this guy just at a table for 20. I asked the guy for 15. He said yes, so I grabbed it. Speaking of Japan-only exclusive, Nemesis Prime and Burning Primal were there too, which is also really damn cool to see. I didn't pick them up though, but maybe next year. Like I said, I am trying to see if I'll go back next year, but if I'm not, then I'm not. But if I am, then I'm going to try and get those guys, because those are pretty cool to see. But yeah, this guy's okay, I guess. He's nothing crazy to write home about, but it was cool to pick him up. I just wanted something that was pretty damn rare, I guess. Moving on, I guess, we can move on to Legacy Evolution Bludgeon. You guys are gonna get mad at me for this. I bought this one used. So this was the same table that had that G1 Devastator I was telling you guys about. And this guy is missing bits. It's bad. First off, he's missing half his cannon and one of the little cannon bits on his back, so that's always great to see. Thankfully, this guy tried to charge me 40 for it, but I told him, hey dude, it's missing parts. And he saw it and he said, I'll give you 20. I don't really care about the tank mode for this guy, I only bought him for the robot mode. So I said, deal, and now I own a Legacy Bludgeon. Despite it being broken, I don't care about that, I still think it looks nice. So, that was it for... oh shit. That was it for that. So now, let's move on to, Legacy United. Let's talk about Bumblebee. Yeah, see, I was waiting until TFCON to finally get the animated figures from Legacy United. So, once I knew Toy Arena, my boys, you know, the guys from Frankenstein, once I knew they were there, I knew I had to buy animated stuff from them. And that's what I did. I ended up going there, I picked up two things, I'll tell the other one right now, but I ended up getting the Legacy United Bumblebee. And it's alright. It's not the next coming of Christ or anything, it's a decent deluxe, but like, it's a little underwhelming. I heard of so many people talking about this thing online, and it's okay, it's not crazy good. It's fine as it is, and honestly, you can go living your life knowing you didn't buy it, but that's fine. What you cannot skip, however, is the animated Optimus. This guy is a goddamn piece of art. I was able to get this guy also at the Toy Arena booth, thankfully. So apparently they were running out all day and kept getting more boxes in when they thought they had the last ones. I know this wasn't the last one because I came back later to get that Megatron, and he was still there. So, oh god. He's pretty fantastic. For the few days that I messed with him, he's really great. That axe is goddamn killer, man. I really like how that works. And overall, I just think he's a really, really good, representation of the character. Better than what Prime was getting, I'll be honest. Because Prime was just... I feel bad for you guys. But I think we should finally start getting more interesting stuff. Let's talk about this Star Saber extension. Now, there was a guy at this convention where I bought the... what did I buy from him? I bought the Sideswipe from him. Before I did that, he was selling the Star Saber sword extensions. And I'm gonna be honest, I never liked the sword for the original Star Saber. So I thought, hey, I'll just get that one instead. It was $25, but it was made of actual metal. So I let myself just gaslight myself into thinking, oh, it's worth it. And I got it, and it's pretty cool, I will be honest. I thought it didn't work at first, but the guy did tell me it only fits in one position, so I can only have it like this for the rest of its life. Which is fine, I guess. He looks great with it now, but I'm gonna say it's a little overrated, but, past Omega can complain about that as much as he wants. Now, let's move on to something bigger. When I went to this convention, I had a goal in mind for myself. To find something third party and buy it. And I completed that goal by 2. Because the first guy we're going to look at is the Magic Square Light of Freedom, a Legends class Optimus Prime. And oh my god, I love this thing. Getting it out of the box was a little weird, but messing around and fidgeting with this guy has been nothing short of just amazing. I don't know why I haven't gotten on to the Legends class toys before, but holy lord, is this thing incredible to mess with. It is just fantastic. Like, I don't know how many more words I can use to describe how just fantastic this figure is, because truthfully, how does this get better? I don't know, because that was just fantastic. I loved it. I love it so much. It impressed me more than I thought it would. I thought it would be a simple little tiny Optimus, but it ended up being way more than that. His accessories are pretty cool too, but you know, he's pretty damn good. For $75 is a little high, but I made it work in my mind. I gaslight myself to make sure that price was normal. So you can blame gaslighting me if I was being dumb. But like I said, I did 2 times that goal, and what I did get for that second time was the TFCON exclusive Make Toys Tangerine Swarm. Their take on Sunstorm? Is that who this is supposed to be? I think it is. This guy is okay, I guess. I did take him out of this little plastic case that he's in, and he's pretty fun to mess around with. The transformation, if you know how a Seeker transforms, you can kind of figure it out, but there are some bits that are kind of complex, considering this is supposed to be a master grade toy, masterpiece grade toy, but he's pretty fun to mess with overall. I think it was really nice. And now I have something that'll remind me I went to TFCON, because I got number 30, and he's pretty damn cool. He stays up on that shelf along with the concept art Megatron. So, I think we should finally start counting down. That was number 3. Let's get to number 2. And number 2... Wait, no, I'm stupid. Wait, okay. Scratch that. Hold on. Now we're at our final 3 figures, 2 of which we've already talked about. So, let's get on with it. Number 3, Studio Series Concept Art Megatron. This was one I've been waiting for forever. Ever since we got it confirmed that this was the Bumblebee movie Megatron, I was so stoked to find this thing. And I was betting that I'd find it here at TFCON. And I did. For $90. Are you kidding me, man? I have one on pre-order, but damn it, they won me over. So I went on Sunday and I bought myself the concept art Megatron. And why am I not showing you the box right now? Well, like I said, I got it signed by the YouTuber panel. So all 6 of them are signed here on the front of the box. And it is so cool to get them to sign this. They started making jokes about it. They're like, wow, we turned into a signing line. That was kind of weird. I saw a bunch of other people get their, like a Lunar Prime I saw get signed and a couple others. But I had my concept art Megatron on me because that was the only toy I bought that day. So I got them to sign it and it was pretty cool too. So that's the whole story behind it. So I am going to keep the one I have on pre-order just so I can switch it out with the other Megatron so it looks like it was new in box, but everyone knows that it was open, so shh, don't tell them. And now let's get to number 2, G1 Devastator. This guy, ooh, this is pretty cool to hold. This is very, very nice to hold. And it's not mine per se, it's more my dad's thing. So I'm just going to show it off right here. Pretty simple display, and it's nice, I guess. It's pretty nice. I was never a fan of the G1 Devastator, but he wanted it so bad, so I let him get it, and he loves it. So I think we're all cool with it. So this was a really, really bad build-up, but finally, number 1, the Magnum Opus, the Encore Optimus Prime, signed by Peter Cullen. This thing will not be opened, will not be played with. Even looking at it burns my eyes because it is so holy that I can't even fathom opening that box. This thing is the magnum opus of my collection, and I will never, never open this thing ever again. Will ever open this thing. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you made it to the end of the video. More than 40 minutes of me talking about a convention that most of you probably didn't go to, or if you did go to, I actually technically got recognized once, but that was because we were in a Discord chat. So whatever. Next year, am I going again? Probably will. It was such a fun experience going there and having so much fun. Just being a Transformers fan outside of my bedroom was just something I always wanted, and I was able to experience it, and now I'm going to continue to chase that dragon for as long as I can. So, my name is Omega. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you all later. Before I leave though, just heads up, there's a bunch of reviews coming out soon, so get excited for those. Man, I have a lot of work to do.